It doesn't start with shaking. It starts with sound. A low, unnatural groan moving through the walls, like the house itself is warning you. The floor trembles just enough for you to notice. Your baby pauses mid-breath. Then the shaking hits hard enough to knock a picture frame to the ground. An earthquake. And suddenly, everything you've ever learned about staying calm is competing with one instinct louder than all the others. Protect the child. If you've never experienced an earthquake with a baby or young child, it's impossible to explain how fast your brain fragments. You're thinking about falling objects, gas lines, door frames, exits, aftershocks, and at the same time, about tiny bones, soft skulls, feeding schedules, diapers, and cries that give away your position. Earthquakes don't give warnings you can act on. They give you seconds. And after that, they give you consequences. So this isn't about fear. This is about what actually keeps children alive during and immediately after an earthquake, based on how buildings fail, how parents panic, and how kids' bodies are different from adults. The first thing you must do, and this is non-negotiable, is anchor yourself before you anchor your child. When shaking begins, parents instinctively try to run. That instinct gets people injured. During earthquakes, most injuries happen from falls and falling objects, not from buildings collapsing entirely. If you're holding a baby, sudden movement multiplies risk. You slip, the child becomes leverage, and both of you go down. U.S. emergency guidance consistently emphasizes drop, cover, and hold on. That advice doesn't change because you have a baby. It becomes more important. You drop to the ground to prevent being knocked over. You cover both of you, ideally under a sturdy table or against an interior wall away from windows. You hold on, not just to furniture, but to the child, creating a physical shield with your own body. Your body is larger, denser, more damage tolerant. In that moment, you are not escaping. You are absorbing force so your child doesn't have to. The second thing you must have is a way to protect your child's head instantly. Babies and toddlers have proportionally larger heads and weaker neck muscles. Head injuries are catastrophic at ages where adults might walk away. You don't have time to think creatively during shaking. Whatever protects your child's head must already be instinctive. That might be a baby carrier that keeps them tight against your chest, allowing you to curl around them. It might be a thick blanket nearby you can pull over their head and neck. It might be a diaper bag positioned so you can use it as padding. This is why pediatric disaster preparedness emphasizes head and neck protection first. You can treat cuts later. You can't undo brain injury. The third thing you must do is silence without separating. This sounds counterintuitive, even cruel, but it matters. Crying doesn't cause earthquakes to hurt children, but it does create chaos after the shaking stops. In dense housing, collapsed buildings, or darkened interiors, sound affects how people move. Panic spreads through noise. You do not cover your child's mouth, ever. You regulate breathing by holding them close, rocking gently, and controlling your own breath. Infants mirror stress through caregivers. Your calm is a physiological signal, not an emotional one. In post-earthquake rescues, parents who stayed physically connected to their children had better outcomes than those who put them down to deal with things. Separation is the enemy. The fourth thing you must have is an immediate access baby survival kit, not a full diaper bag. Most parents pack for convenience, not disasters. During earthquakes, you may need to leave your home quickly due to gas leaks, structural damage, or aftershock risk. You may be barefoot. You may be carrying a child with one arm and navigating debris with the other. That means you don't need everything. You need the essentials: diapers, wipes, formula or feeding supplies, a change of clothes for the baby, and a way to keep them warm. All of it in something you can grab with one hand. This kit should live where you sleep, not in a car, not in a closet across the house. Earthquakes don't care where your supplies are stored. Parents who survived major earthquakes often report the same mistake: having plenty of baby supplies, just not where they could reach them. The fifth thing you must do is control the air your child breathes after the shaking stops. Earthquakes create dust, drywall, insulation, mold spores, sometimes smoke from fires started by ruptured gas lines. Babies breathe faster than adults. That means higher exposure to airborne hazards. If dust is heavy, cover your child's nose and mouth loosely with cloth. Not sealed, not tight, just enough to filter larger particles. Move away from damaged structures and into open air if it's safe. Organizations like the CDC note that respiratory exposure after disasters disproportionately affects infants and children due to developing lungs. Fresh air matters more than speed. The sixth thing you must have is identification and medical information for your child on your body. Earthquakes separate families, not because parents abandon children, but because injuries, evacuations, and rescues fragment people without warning. Your child cannot state their name, they cannot list allergies, they cannot explain medical needs. That information must travel with them. A simple card in your wallet, a tag in a diaper bag, information stored offline on your phone, photos that clearly show you together. This is not paranoia, it's standard disaster medicine practice. After large earthquakes, reunification is one of the biggest challenges responders face. Identification turns chaos into logistics. The seventh thing, and this is the one parents resist the most, is accepting that aftershocks are more dangerous for children than the main quake. The first shaking ends, you feel relief. That relief is dangerous. Aftershocks cause additional collapses. They bring down structures already weakened. Parents rush back into homes to grab items and get trapped. If your child is with you, you do not re-enter damaged structures unless authorities say it's safe. Not for toys, not for supplies, not for anything you forgot. Babies don't understand risk. They trust you too. Emergency agencies emphasize that many post-earthquake injuries happen after the initial event, during unsafe re-entry. The earthquake is not over when the shaking stops. Now let's talk about what doesn't help. Running outside during shaking increases fall risk. Standing in doorways is outdated advice for modern construction. Lifts and stairs during shaking cause injuries. Cars are not safe shelters near buildings or bridges. Social media will explode with advice, some good, much bad. Ignore anything that promises certainty. Children survive disasters not because parents are fearless, but because parents default to simple, protective behaviors under stress. Cover, hold, stay together, reduce exposure, move deliberately. Earthquakes don't give you control over timing. They do give you control over response. If you have children, preparedness isn't about stockpiles or drills that scare them. It's about muscle memory for you. Knowing what your hands do before your brain finishes panicking. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. Because in an earthquake, your child doesn't need you to be brave. They need you to be solid. And that, more than anything you can buy, is what keeps them alive. So, that's it, folks. I hope our video will help you if these kind of situation emerges out of nowhere. And if you like our videos, share it with your friends and family, so they also can survive in situation of life and death. Be safe, be alive.